This is awesome.
Oh, Clark, hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest talent mix.
Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you all among the living. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Talon Mix. It's a Smallville recap podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Zach.
And we watched Smallville together in college, and now we are revisiting it again in our 30s. Zach, how are you doing?
I think I prefer the awkward fumble. Is that to open the show?
That felt so clean to me. Did you not feel good about that? I felt great about it. I was sitting there like, yes, nailed it. That was great.
See, here's the thing. You're just delaying the awkward fumble because you still ask me how I'm doing and I still don't have an interesting answer. So
should I just jump into do I just jump into
delaying the inevitable?
Do I just not ask? Do I just not acknowledge where we just talk about Smallville immediately? We hop into like, Zach, we watched Cyborg this week.
Yeah. I mean, unless you have a specific question, sometimes you have a clever little question to ask me, and that's great.
I don't have time for that. I should say I'm a little under the weather at the moment, and you can probably hear that in my voice.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
It's fine. But that's of like clever is not what I'm doing today.
Well, I'm so glad we decided to record a double feature of podcasts.
Oh, did I say that to myself? Yes.
We don't have to. If you wanna get some rest or whatever.
Nah. Let's do it. Now, especially that we've said it on the pod, now we have to. So next week...
but no one would know. No one would know.
No one would know. You're right. No one would know. So, hey, next week will just be a continuation of the conversation we're having now. Or will it? ? Podcasting, baby. We're doing great. Zach, we watched this episode, Cyborg. Are you familiar with the DC Comics character Cyborg?
Only from this show and the masterpiece that is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Of course.
And of course, Joss Whedon's masterpiece, Justice League.
Of course. Did you watch the Cartoon Network Teen Titans show at all?
No.
I was a little old for it, but my youngest brother would watch it, and it was good enough that I'd be like, yeah, this is what you want to watch. You don't have to change the channel now that your older brother has sat down, you know? Like, I'll watch this until it's over, and then I am in charge, because I was a good brother.
You're picking your poison. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. In all honesty, that cartoon was pretty good. But Cyborg was one of the characters on that. And then he got the bump, I think, through Smallville. I think this is a major first live action version of Cyborg, I think.
It has to be.
Has to be. And then he got the bump onto the main roster in the DC like film universe. Now, could it have to do with there aren't a lot of black superheroes and you don't just want a bunch of white guys running around?
Representation.
That would be my guess, which is important. And like we're
absolutely
all for it.
Because we can't have a black Superman or Wonder Woman or Batman or anything.
How dare we even come up with the plot? Like, come on, grow up. I mean, it is also this is not at all my place to be talking. But so with that said, here's a dumb thing of I understand from some perspective, like people being like, we don't just want white characters turned into like,
for sure,
or, you know, pander. Like we'd like black characters and Asian characters to like be created and be represented. And that's how we get Cyborg.
I mean, yeah, I think like either give us something.
It's the right call. Whatever you did was the right call. But
I do want to say this is as good a time as any. While watching this episode, I was like, this might be a tough one for me and Brian to talk about because there's some stuff that hasn't aged super well.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe you and I aren't the best two people to be talking about.
Frequently aren't.
But we're gonna try.
We're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best. It's I think it's
they can't not underline the fact that this is a black character in the show. They can't do it. They can't.
I mean, could have easily.
No, I know. I'm saying they can't help themselves. They have to make some borderline inappropriate comparisons to other black people for the character.
So bad. It sucks so bad. I'll also say I think I was down on Cyborg there as a character when I don't think it's fair to put like on the character's vision board Justice League, Zack Snyder or Joss Whedon's, which also I'm sure Joss Whedon would hate to hear that called Joss Whedon's Justice League. That was a for hire patch job, to be clear. But I don't think those two versions of that movie and this Smallville appearance are fair to put on the character of Cyborg, who has been in the comics for many, many years and like is a well-liked character on the Teen Titans.
I'm sure I have no history other than this, so I will be talking about only this and Justice League, the movie.
That's fair. And you know what? Not that much to say.
I feel like back when this show was in its heyday in season 5, the superhero crossover was so rare that it was easy to have that carry the entire episode. So
I remember watching this on DVD, just like, it's the guy from Teen Titans.
Right.
Comics are legitimate.
That's all you needed. And now we're, of course, we're overflowing with that garbage. So now when we get this episode, it's like, okay, but the episode's not very good. It's not as bad as last week. Oh, no. It's not a bad episode. It's just not noteworthy in any way. In a way you would want your big crossover episode to be.
Right. I would say it's also the weakest of like the superhero episodes, the superhero crossover
so
episodes.
Far, yeah.
This is weaker than Aquaman. This is weaker than The Flash. And neither of those are like sterling examples of great Smallville episodes.
Is it weaker than Angel of Vengeance made up superhero crossover?
No. No, it's stronger than that one. I would say personally, I think.
I mean, I think the Cyborg stuff is stronger than the Angel of Vengeance stuff, but that episode had some strong post Johnny K's death stuff. Good point.
Well, should we get into it?
Yep.
A young man, Victor Stone, is suspended in a cage in a dark laboratory. Dr. Hong gives him an injection, and when Victor wakes up, Dr. Hong apologizes for what they did to him and hands him a photograph of a girl. Victor tries to make his way out of the building, setting off alarms. Cyborg here is played by the actor is Lee Thompson Young, who some may recognize. There was a Disney Channel show called The Famous Jet Jackson. Is that familiar, Dan? Is that sound familiar at all to you?
The guy's no longer with us.
He did unfortunately pass away in 2013 that I have, which is very sad. Several years after this episode. Always a big time shame. But yeah, he was on Disney Channel as a teenager. I believe the premise of that show, which is kind of fun, was that he's like a movie star. He plays a teen spy in like a movie series, but that he's also actually a spy. So it's like a little Hannah Montana-y, which is fun. A fun premise.
Yeah.
I don't think much happened for him outside of that show and an episode of Smallville.
Well, I'm really interested about this scene because he's in this secret lab. He escapes, and then these security guys are chasing him through what appears to be the inside of a like storage unit facility, just like storage units. He's running past storage. Like, I think it's supposed to be part of the same building. It's supposed to be the facility,
right?
But it just looks like a U-store, self-storage.
If you were LexCorp and you needed to hide a secret laboratory, what better place than a storage unit? Who's going snooping around a storage unit?
Yeah, well, it goes from that, and then it goes to like an abandoned warehouse. It's like, let's just cram some cool looking locations together, and
that's it. That's all they got.
whatever.
These are miles apart. Okay, so guards and agents go after him, but Victor escapes by breaking through a metal door. He runs into the street and is hit by Lana Lang's SUV. Car wreck.
Whoa, we did not plan that at all. That was pretty good.
That was pretty good. We've been doing this for a long time, pal.
And I also want to say, probably a concussion, right? She has that cut on her head. She looks woozy.
Great call. I completely agree.
Great.
I completely agree. Let's see. The car wraps around his body, and Lana is stunned, but he is completely unharmed. Lana's pretty, shaken up about this, of he's barely been injured. Haven't we not seen this before? I know we have through Clark. Has Lana not seen this before?
She's surely seen someone not get injured before when they should have. I mean...
Surely. Lana, nothing new under the sun. You live in Smallville. Come on.
In real life, she would be like, I don't care if you're invincible. What are you going to do about my fucking car, asshole? Do you have insurance on your body?
Yeah. You're a robot, man. You're very strong. What are you going to do about my car? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm 19. Okay. I don't have a lot of money.
Victor takes Lana to the hospital, but quickly leaves. She calls.
We just cut from the car wreck to Metropolis Medical. Not even like the lobby where you check in, just like a medical exam room. Yeah. And he just walks in with her. So did he say, hey, we have to get you to the hospital, and just walk her there from the car accident?
Yeah, right.
And then walk through the lobby and not check in and just bring her back to a room and just hope a doctor found her? What's going on here?
Yeah, right. Have you ever walked into an ER and just been like, hey, I got somebody. Don't worry, I got it. I'll take care of it. I'll take her back.
Room 5? Sure, I'll take her back. Wouldn't the better thing to do, this guy's super fast, run to a payphone, call for help, call an ambulance? Walking her to the hospitals, it seems like.
Because realistically, if she's okay, she's conscious, she's got a head wound, that's not severe. Let's be real. What happened here is, all right, go wait over there for a while, which means that they went, they sat, they waited, they played around on their phone for a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. You come around here often? Do you generally run into people? Oh, cool. We're good. No, I got her.
Yeah, let me. No cops pulled over. What about the car? No. They just abandoned the car.
I mean, it's Smallville. Come on.
No, they're in Metropolis.
It's the television show Smallville. Lana will have a new car next week.
Okay, you're right. That's true. Cars literally grow on trees in Smallville.
Yep, that's it. That's the real superpower element.
It's kryptonite thing.
Your car getting destroyed is a devastating financial loss.
Just walk me to the hospital. We'll be fine.
Yeah, walk me to the hospital. I'll go to the store. I'll get the same car tomorrow.
Is the hospital right outside of where the car wreck was? That's the only explanation.
The car, okay, Victor takes Lana to the hospital, but quickly leaves. She calls Clark to come get her and tells him how she hit Victor at 30 miles an hour, but he wasn't even hurt. Clark leaves to go find him, and when they meet, he recognizes him as a Metropolis high school football player, but he supposedly died with his family in a car crash. Okay. I think I have a clip here.
Okay.
It's my only clip. Yes.
Okay, hold on. Right before that.
Yeah.
First of all, Clark comes in the exam room, and he's worried about Lana. She's like, I'm fine. It's just a cut. Okay, it's not just a cut. Even if you didn't get a concussion, which I believe you did, and I'm marking off on my really official tally here.
We are the doctors now.
Have you ever been in a minor fender bender? This was not. This was a totaling of her car. But a minor fender bender, you still get whiplash, and it still fucking hurts.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's
for your
days
body.
of soreness. It's not it's just a scratch. I'm fine. No.
That
You're
hurts.
not. So I know she's in Metropolis Medical, not Smallville Medical. So hopefully they did X-rays and stuff.
It's spread.
Then we get a hilarious editing move cut here, where she talks to Clark about the guy she hit with the car, and then he goes, "What did he look like?" And then we cut away.
I also noticed that.
Before he can, I'm like, I want to know what her answer was there. What did she
say in 2006? What did 2006 Lana say about the first black person who's been on this show since Pete?
Yeah, she's like, he looked kind of like Pete.
Yeah. All right, I have a clip of Victor and Clark meeting.
Is that who's chasing you? The police?
You got the wrong guy.
So my girlfriend didn't crash your Jeep running into you.
What are you looking for, an apology?
Just some answers. She said she hit you full on, you're not even hurt. How'd you manage that?
Milk does her body good.
Ooh.
I love this just sort of like, what do you want me to do? What do you want? What do you want? Come on. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. It's the same thing Clark said to Lex that one time. What do you want me to say, Lex? Just throwing it back at him. I'm a robot, okay? Just get over it. I love the milk line. We come back to it later. We get a callback to this later. Clark's like, I drink milk too, or something later.
Right. I love how Victor doesn't have to be like, I have diarrhea, and like run away. Just like, I'm a fucking robot, man. Like, come on.
Yeah,
what do you want?
It's not that hard. Just be who you are.
All right.
Victor? Victor Stone? Met high wide receiver.
I know you.
Yeah, I'm Clark Kent. I played for the Smallville Crows.
Kent, quarterback. I remember. Some arm you got.
I don't play anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
There's some shit going on. And Clark, you think the most relevant, interesting thing to say is, oh, I don't play football anymore. Oh, neat. Cool, Clark. Good catching up. Glad you're doing well. What are you up to now?
Yeah, like, I don't care. I'm a robot fugitive. I don't care.
Interesting, Clark.
It's not surprising since I heard you were dead.
Look, man, I'm sorry about what happened with your girlfriend. I really am. But I got places I don't want to be right now. Catch you later, Kent.
Victor, wait. Let me go.
Clark goes into a wall.
Kent! What the hell are you made of?
Steel.
I was just about to ask you that.
Clark does an x-ray. He sees a robotman. And that's Clark meeting.
What the hell are you made of? Oh, gosh, he wanted to say steel. I know he did.
It's funny. The wiki will mention that later. And like, yeah, I guess that was obviously the point.
No, I'm just surprised at the restraint of the Smallville writers. Like, I don't think Clark would say steel, but I think Cyborg would be like, or Victor would be like, what the hell are you made of? Steel? That is that wouldn't even be top 10 worst infractions on Nietzsche lines in the show.
Incredibly true. Okay. So we just heard a bunch of that there. Throws Clark into a wall with unintentional force. He is surprised that Clark is unhurt. Clark x-rays his body and sees the skeleton is made up of metal parts. At the Kents, Martha receives a package secretly delivered at her doorstep. It contains a DVD player that shows the explosion at Warehouse 15 and Clark emerging unscathed from the flames. She later gets an anonymous call demanding money.
The wiki's revealing that before we find out in the show.
Right.
In the show, Martha watches the little hilariously outdated DVD player thing. She watches the explosion in the factory, but we don't see anything. We don't see what she sees in there that's so disturbing.
Right. But Wiki gave us all. To be fair, when would be a good time for the Wiki to? Okay. Let's see. When she hangs up, Lionel Luthor arrives on business. She doesn't tell him anything, but he notices her distraction and makes sure she knows she can count on him. I love John Glover. I really
so
had a
good,
moment again where I'm like, fuck, this guy's so good.
Yeah, they light him really well in this scene, too, the way the sun's coming in from outside. And he's using the front door here, so that's nice. Nice progress for Lionel.
He learned.
Yeah.
Clark takes Victor to his barn, where Victor explains that his whole family was in a car accident and died. But when he was pulled away from the wreckage, barely alive, a company called Syntechnics experimented on him until he was successfully restored with bionic parts. He tells Clark that... Yep.
I was just going to ask. I don't know Cyborg, as we previously discussed. Is in the comics, did his whole family die? Or because his dad is alive in the movie, his dad's a big player of Smallville alumni actor.
Right. It's Miles Dyson from like T2, right?
Yeah, Miles Dyson. That's how I was going to say that. I know that's not his real name, but that's how I'll always know him, Miles Dyson.
Yeah, I don't actually know.
Okay. I mean, definitely in 2006, if they changed it, no one except for 1% of the population is going to be like, that's not the Cyborg back.
A bajillion % allowed. That was the thing in adaptations that, like, where did this change happen? Where, like, we gave a shit about, like, funny book source material. It was... Batman, Tim Burton made changes to Batman because it was a movie and like everyone was going to go see the big expensive movie. It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
The change that happened was the internet because there were comic book people upset about the changes. They just didn't have anyone to talk to except for other comic book people at the comic store.
So there was no snowball effect.
Right. Yeah. This didn't like my mom wasn't telling me how unfaithful the new Batman movie was.
Right.
Which now, like, she still wouldn't, but some people's moms would be like, I don't know. I don't like what they did with the character there.
Meanwhile, God, I've hit the point of do anything different. Do anything fucking different, please. I beg of you.
Seriously? Yeah, we're at the point where I'm not even asking for good, just different.
Just different. Just if it's going to be the same fucking piece of shit, do anything. Make Batman blue. I don't give a fuck.
It's wild they haven't done that yet.
Why not? It's also funny. Like, do you remember the feeling? And I feel like I had the feeling in regards to like Chris Nolan's Batman of like, this is how Batman is supposed to be. When like that had a bajillion changes. And, you know?
Yeah. No, and I think those are movies we love, but they were never super faithful. I mean,
no, and are better for it for those specific movies, you know? Like,
yeah.
So
this has been the 2000th installment of Brian and Zach complain about the current state of comic book cinema.
Listen, what else are we gonna do? If
it is
the most relevant topic
until some change occurs. Yeah. I mean, although this has been a rough year for the genre, and hopefully it's a huge blow.
Aquaman 2 is going to be definitely another, like, it's going to be a nail in a coffin, right?
If that doesn't go well, if Aquaman 2 doesn't
it can't be good. It's Jason Momoa and James Wan are not speaking.
Wait, what? I don't know any of the drama. Okay.
I'm also not, my wife is more familiar with it than I am, but apparently Aquaman 2 is a mess. Jason Momoa, who believes he is actually Aquaman, and director of Aquaman 2, James Wan, are not speaking. They are not on speaking terms.
Wow.
Also, apparently reports Momoa was like constantly drunk on set. Like bad vibes.
Oh no. I mean, that might be the end of Warner Bros. The thing is, what's his name is James Gunn is taking over. I hope it's too late at that point. No offense to James.
I know. It's like, no, don't get me wrong. I'm sure. I think you could do better than what this is, but like, why? What is there to save?
Let's just take a break. A decade. Give me a decade moratorium on interconnected comic book. You can still make solo stuff. Give me the solo Batman, I guess.
I like, yeah. If you make another one of those, I'll watch it. Yeah, I liked it.
Yes. But let's have a moratorium. And then 10 years, I'll be chomping at the bit. I'll be like, yeah, let's do some of this again.
It's, it's, because here's the thing. Like right now, they want to jump into this James Gunn new version of the DCEU. The one that worked, the one that made everybody money, the Marvel stuff. Everyone's sick of that too. That's not doing well.
Did you hear about the Marvel TV shit?
No, what?
They just totally... Well, first of all, Daredevil, that they filmed half of, they just apparently announced today that they are pretty much getting rid of all the stuff they shot and starting from scratch because they don't like...
Wow.
They decided that the way they've been doing the TV stuff hasn't been working, which sounds like it's true. I don't watch those shows, but from what I hear. So they're going to try to do it more like normal TV now, whatever that means.
Okay.
So they're just revamping everything. It was after that Sam Jackson show was like so poorly received.
Yeah, right. I think it also doesn't help the general nature of streaming services right now of like this content just gets dumped onto them, right? There's no advertising to cater to, so it just gets dumped onto a streaming service. No fanfare, no cultural footprint.
Unless it's really good. And then sometimes you get a little footprint. But
I don't know if any have been yet.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they've gotten there. Yeah.
Whew.
I am just constantly rooting for the downfall of comic book movies unless they want to hire me to write one, and then I'll change it.
Yeah, right. And in which case, here we go. We fucking love the Booster Gold.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, what are we writing? Yeah, it's like I love the Punisher's brother.
We show up with our draft, and it's like, why is this so horny? It's silly. It's fun.
There's a lot of 20-somethings playing teens.
It's
in your script.
Fun.
It's weird that your script says the 30-year-old is playing a 19-year-old.
It's important. Really it's weird. Important to our vision, actually. Okay. So Victor tells Clark that one doctor helped him escape. He asks Clark if he is bionic too, since he seems to be indestructible. Clark just says that he is different. Victor asks Clark if Lana knows that he's different, and Clark admits that she doesn't. He shows Clark the photograph of his girlfriend, Catherine, and Clark asks if he's going to tell Catherine that he is alive. Victor's secret's probably worse than Clark's.
Well, in what way?
I mean, he's dead. And not, or he's legally dead and not dead. That's worse, I think. That's a worse secret.
It's not worse than my existence killed your parents.
That's true.
Although Lana took that part really well when he told her the first time. We didn't even hear it.
Great point. Victor says she probably wouldn't love him now. He's like, who could love this? You look like a guy.
You look like really good, man. You look really good. Yeah.
You're on the CW. You look great.
Right. If I was dating, I don't know, pick your poison, Scarlett Johansson or something, and she came to me one day and was like, hey, I have to let you know I'm half robot. I'd be like, okay, cool. And just the bone bits. Right. And wait, can I see? Does it change anything for me? Can I see that? No. Although I can be more helpful. I can lift things and run really fast and cool.
So like only net positive. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, don't see the problem here, actually.
Yeah. Do you want to go get food or what's
Yeah. But I got robot bits. I'm like, I got gunky bits. I don't want you to see those either because they're nasty.
Oh.
Victor, okay.
Do you hear that sound? We just lost another listener.
They're gone. Goodbye.
They're gone
Good
forever.
riddance.
It's over.
Good riddance. Anybody who is still here, there's surely are unflappable. I don't know who you are or what you're doing, but thank you. What's wrong with you?
You're perfect. There's nothing wrong.
You're just an angel. You're a little angel. Victor says she probably wouldn't love him now, and Clark admits he can't really offer any useful advice about the subject. He offers to help Victor get away from Sin Technics and leaves Victor in the barn while he goes to talk to Chloe. Chloe and Lana are at the Daily Planet, and Lana is describing Victor to her. When Clark arrives, she explains that her research on Sin Technics did not turn up anything untoward. What's funny?
I love the tasteful editing that the wiki did there, where she's describing Victor to her. This is where we get the big yikes of the episode.
Great,
this is what
great. We haven't gotten to yikes in a while.
I was hinting at earlier what the wiki is describing there. Lana describing Victor to Chloe. Starts off like this. This is the first line of the scene. They're walking through the planet, and Chloe says...
I don't remember what this could be. I'm so excited.
Oh, gosh. So, on a scale from 1 to Tay Diggs, how hot are we... I can't believe you didn't get a clip of it.
Oh!
We need a clip of that, Brian. On the scale from 1
I'm only getting clips that already exist on YouTube, and it's not on YouTube for some reason.
Oh.
Oh. Smallville.
I'm typing in Tay Diggs Smallville just in case. Oh, no, nothing.
No.
Oh, gosh. Oh, it's rough.
Okay. So I can't quite get Sin Technics out of my mouth cleanly. And it's Sin Technics. Did not turn up anything untoward. They are known for making prosthetic limbs. She also discloses that Sin Technics is owned by Luther Corp. Clark goes to talk to Lex, who does not appreciate his accusations. He breezily says that he owns a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and it is very possible someone is abusing their power without his knowledge. He unconvincingly says he'll get to the bottom of it. Clark reiterates, so will he, and storms out. I love the Lex stuff here.
Well, he has a point about Clark barging in and being a dick.
Right. Clark just barges in, and of course, like, why is my friend a robot?
Yeah. You're like, what? Hi.
Hello. No. Oh, good. Security's still just letting you in, I guess.
Yeah, I told them many times not to let you in. We get a great line from Lana when they're in the planet. Chloe and Clark are talking about Victor, and she's like, Lana says, what's he going to do? Just keep lying and hope she doesn't notice how different he is? And Chloe and Clark look at each other like really obviously like, oh.
Wah, wah. Wah, wah.
I love that this episode's basically Clark and Lana fighting a proxy war with using Victor and his girlfriend over their shit.
So Lana goes to the barn to talk to Victor and tells him Lex. Okay. There's a bit here in the Clark Lex scene where Lex is like, you just walk in with accusations, and Clark is like, I didn't accuse you of shit.
Yeah.
Like, got you, fucker.
But it is in his tone. It is like obvious you're about to accuse me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%. Lana goes to the barn to talk to Victor and tells him that Lex Luthor owns Sin Technics, but she is sure he had nothing to do with it. She asks him if he's going to tell Catherine he's alive and that he shouldn't lie to the woman he loves. He decides she is right and turns to go find Catherine. Suddenly, a beam of energy burns into his shoulder from agents from the company who also push Lana down. Just a good green bullet. Just a good old Smallville green bullet.
Also, the guy who's aiming with the laser pointer is like 10 feet away from him on that like balcony.
Yeah, right.
Like they didn't notice him just walk up on there.
Nope. Very sneaky agent. Suddenly, a beam of energy bursts into his shoulder. Agents from the company who also push Lana down. However, before they can apprehend the target, Clark arrives and knocks them out.
Oh, shit. Did they get knocked out? How many of them? There were 3 of them there.
That's a good question.
There were 3 guys there.
Do we have to go back to the tape on that one? I feel okay marking 3.
I'm going to mark 3. There's 3 guys there.
There's 3 guys there.
He throws them. They got to be knocked out.
They got to be knocked out. You're right. Okay. Lana is all right, but a black viscous fluid is pouring from Victor's arm. Clark, I believe there's even a line here of like, look, the black liquid, it's like blood. I lose enough of it, I die. So you really are just a guy. You're just a guy. like you'd kill a guy.
You're strong and fast, but you're not invulnerable. The Clark's like, so you really have nothing, right?
Your girlfriend will still smooch you. You're just a guy. Does
the computer have a setting for your dick not to break through?
Yeah, right. What's the heart thing where like it'll keep your heart doing
Iron
what
Man?
it's supposed to be doing? No, the actual medical device.
I can't remember what it's called.
But it's just like imagine getting that and just be like, my wife will never love me. I'm a monster. I'm a beast. I'm half machine.
Don't look at me.
I'm a cyborg. Still just a guy. Got all the stuff that comes with a guy. But his dick is a jackhammer, though. Literally, they've mounted. I don't know if you've seen Tetsuo, the Iron Man. His dick, it's a drill. It's just a drill, and it's terrible. So that's what he's talking about the whole time.
Gotcha.
It's the drill dick. That's what she won't love. You can't see it on the CW.
I have something to tell you. I'm half robot. I'm a cyborg. It's okay. I still love you. And my dick is a drill. Fuck. Okay.
Clark and Lana take Victor to Lois Lane's empty apartment at the Talon because she is out of town. Erica Durant's not in this episode. Don't know why. Victor explains.
That's one of the reasons why it's not as fun.
Maybe. Victor explains that the bionics are connected to his human biology. The fluid is leaking from his power cell, and if the leak isn't staunched, he will die. Like a guy. Clark tells Chloe Victor's predicament and is still blaming Lex. She tells him that maybe Lex didn't know because the lead scientist on Syntactics Project, Alistair Krieg, has a history of clashing with his supervisors. She helps Clark locate Dr. Hong, and Clark goes to his house. He finds Dr. Hong in the garage and tries to save him, but Dr. Hong is already dead from carbon monoxide poisoning. Clark is surprised to be approached by Lex. Lex says Dr. Hong was going to blow the whistle on the project, but he either couldn't live with the guilt or someone wouldn't let him live. Dr. Krieg is searching for Victor, and if Clark knows where he is, he needs to tell him so that they can save his life. Wah, wah. No commentary on that bit. Nothing to say, nothing to add. It's Smallville.
I just want to point out that the scene where he finds the doctor and where him and Lex talk takes place in the dead of night. I'm just going to note that, and we're going to come back to it.
Great. Victor is weakening, and Lana admits that Dr. Hong is dead. Victor begins to lose hope and says at least he will get to see his dead family again soon. She pleads with him to wait for Clark and Lex, but he says he wants to see Catherine before he dies. He arrives at Catherine's house, but only finds Dr. Krieg and more agents. They force him to go with him, or they will harm Catherine, and he agrees. When he exits, it is revealed that Lex set him up, knowing
Fucking
he would
Lex.
show. Bad Lex. Bad, get the hose. Bad Lex.
I mean, between this episode and next week's, the one we watched also this week, Lex has really taken a nosedive into piece of shit.
I mean, I guess it's also funny, specifically against like superheroes. Because remember in Aquaman when he was like, "Fuck
That's
you in your
true.
water, fuck
That's
you,
true.
guy."
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he definitely doesn't like superheroes, which makes sense for his
Makes
character.
sense. It's kind of a whole thing. It's going to define him in the future.
Yeah.
Martha arrives in an alley with a briefcase full of money, prepared to turn it over. But Lionel drives up and the blackmailer runs away. Martha tells him that there's a lot at stake, but he says he was protecting her from blackmail and that she should let him help. He promises he has no interest in the package and just wants to help. Are we going to find out who this is from?
Who the what is from?
The package?
Oh, yeah, we come back to it.
Got it. This episode or just in the future?
The end of the episode.
I don't remember it. Clark arrives at the Talon apartment and is annoyed at Lana for letting Victor leave. She says he went to see Catherine and she couldn't stop him, which to be fair, what's Lana going to do? Especially when he could just like pick her up, pivot, move her, and then walk out the door.
To be fair, this is where my little note comes into play. It's daytime in this scene in the apartment. It was nighttime when he's like talking to Lex. What were you doing, Clark? Between there and the Talon with Lana.
Need a little nappy poo? Do you need a little nap? Just like gonna go crash for a little bit?
You have super speed, bud.
Huh?
You take the train?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Is there like an hour of the day where the super speed just doesn't work? And it's like, fucking shit. Is it fucking that time?
Yeah. Well, does he have to? What is this sleep situation? Because he does sleep in the show.
Right. Superman sleep.
He must get tired.
Does Superman sleep? This is from Cora. The thing is, he can get tired somewhat. Clark technically doesn't have to sleep so long as he remains exposed to direct sunlight, but he tends to choose to sleep in order to simply feel normal and to keep his personal sense of humanity intact. So he loves a little nappy poo.
Sounds like a real weird excuse to not have to save people for another 8 hours of the day.
Yeah. It's like, sorry, man. I'm a real grumpy puss if I don't get it.
I gotta pretend to sleep because I want to feel normal. Sorry you died. Sorry. Call Batman at nighttime. Call Batman.
Yeah, that's it. It's Batman's job. It's Batman's time now. I love to sleep so fucking much. Even if I don't have really a super moment of like, I don't want to go to bed. I want to go to bed. I love being in bed. And if I were Superman, I'd sleep all the time anyway.
Yeah, I definitely. When you're younger, you fight it, right? At least I did.
Right.
Like, just more entertainment. Keep going.
It's not that interesting.
Like,
I've experienced everything. The only thing left to experience is the boundless pleasure of just not being conscious. Truly, like the most erotic thing I could possibly hear from my wife is when it's 7 o'clock. She's like, "You want to just go to bed early?" I'm like, "Yes."
You're like, oh.
Just like, we don't have to stay up and watch something for like the sake of it. We can like get into bed. I'm like, it's the best.
Does Superman have super dreams, do you think?
Do you think? Just like dreaming about fucking chasing a car, catching a car in midair?
No, but I don't even know what that would mean because like most people, when they have super dreams, they're flying and shit, and he can already do that. So
yeah, right. Huh.
Might be boring. His dreams might be boring.
Yeah, fuck. What does Superman dream? Great question. I'm going to Google it right now. What does
it's the name
Superman
of a poem, I think.
dream? In his catatonic state, Superman dreams of a normal life on his long-destroyed home planet of Krypton, happily married to Lila Lerol with children. That's from
What?
For the Man Who Has Everything. This is a Superman comic written by Alan Moore.
That's a real specific answer.
If Alan Moore said, who are we to argue? Okay, Clark's mad at Lana for letting Victor leave. Let's see. Victor wakes up in the laboratory, and Lex says he just has to be patient while they repair him. Lex says he just wants Victor to have a normal life, but Victor doesn't want his help. Lex tells him that he is helping Victor take the edge off of his anger, loneliness, or any other emotion. He leaves so the workers can start the procedure, and they begin to point a drill at his temple. Clark arrives just in time to throw the doctors out of the way, and they escape by jumping off the roof.
2 concussions for those doctors.
Absolutely. I think I also, if I remember correctly, them jumping off the roof was not like a great shot.
No. The effects weren't fantastic. So I'm with Lex until he's like, I'm going to put a chip in your head controlling your emotions. Like, up until then, he's like, hey, I just brought you back to life by making you half robot. And Victor's like, fuck you for that. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like if I died in a car wreck and they brought me back to life and I was like the same person, just stronger and faster, I'd be like, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
There's also a line here of like, it cost a lot more than $6 million.
Yeah.
Never seen an episode of the $6 Million Man, but appreciate it.
I mean, they tried to make that a movie for like 20 of the last 20 years.
It kind of makes sense, right? Of like, you would think around like the time of like Mission Impossible and The Fugitive, like, well, what do we got?
That was when they were trying.
Yeah.
It was Jim Carrey at one point. It was Will Smith at one point.
That makes the most sense.
They were going to call it the $6 billion Man, obviously.
Right. Got it.
That would be funny to do $6 million Man today, and he's just like a piece of shit.
Fun. Yeah, right.
Just like
they did a TV series too. I think NBC that was called like Bionic Woman. That I think didn't go anywhere after like a season or two.
Well, that was a spinoff, right, of the $6 million Man.
Right, but there was in the 2000s they did one.
Right, yeah, they did a reboot of
Got it. Okay, so Clark goes back to the Luthor mansion to demand answers from Lex because Victor told him that Lex was spearheading the procedure. Lex doesn't admit guilt. He claims he was trying to stop Krieg's renegade experiments, but Clark doesn't believe him. Lex says that all miracles have a price and tells Clark to let himself out. Love that. That was a good little bit from Lex. Just like, let yourself out.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Right. Victor is in the Kent barn and thanks Clark for saving him, but Clark is modest. Lana arrives with Catherine in tow. They reunite, and when Catherine asks what happened, Victor seems reluctant, but Catherine just says she has time to hear it. Lana is visibly touched by their reunion and looks expectantly at Clark, but he avoids her gaze. Later, Clark is in his loft going through old high school stuff when Lana arrives. She asks him why he quit football since he loved it so much. Clark shrugs that it was just a game. She then asks him why he always hides what he's feeling. She admits she thinks Victor and Catherine's relationship was a lot like theirs at their best, but it usually it always just goes around and around. There's a line here. Lana says something to the effect of, "Look, it reminded us of our glory days." I'm like, when the fuck were those? You guys have always been like complaining at each other. There were like 2 episodes where you boned down, but like,
it was when Clark didn't have his powers for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that was it.
Other than that, there's been nothing but angst in this relationship. You both can do better.
And Will. Well, maybe not Lana, but Clark.
Not Lana. So she asks him if he still loves her, and Clark tells her the truth, that he always has and always will. Unsatisfied, Lana leaves without another word. Martha is worriedly viewing the DVD again when Lionel arrives at the front door. He says the blackmailer has agreed to never contact her again and says he was happy to help. Lionel killed this man, right?
Well, that's the thing. in the next scene, well, you didn't remember.
Oh, right.
He pays the guy
looking at the wiki
for the DVD thing.
Right.
Here, read it, and then we'll go into it because I have some questions.
However, he also points out that she risks a lot as a senator by being involved with him. His graciousness wins Martha's trust, and she tells him that she doesn't turn her back on her friends because of what people think. In Lionel's Luther Court Plaza office, he is seen paying off Martha's blackmailer. Martha is seen burning the DVD in the fireplace, while Lionel watches a copy at the same time. He freezes the frame on Clark's face and mutters that Kal-El's secret is safe with him.
Oh, he knows Kal-El.
Oh, so, which we knew he knew. We knew he knew.
Did we?
When they body swap, the transference occurred. Like then I thought it was like Lionel knew everything.
No. That was like he felt born again. But he had Jor-El in his body at the start of the season, right? Where he was Jor-El. And then I thought after that it was kind of, we weren't sure.
I've just been operating under he knows everything. Maybe I'm wrong. Fuck me.
Maybe he did. Yeah, doesn't matter. Here's my question.
Yeah.
Did Lionel merely pay this guy off for the DVD, or did he set the whole thing up in the first place to get Martha's trust?
I also had that question. I don't know. I think
it's ambiguous.
It's ambiguous, not outside of Lionel's purview, I think is fair.
If it's the latter, or no, if it's the former, if he is just paying this blackmailer off, that guy's dead now.
Dead.
Right?
Dead. Then no real transfer of money happened. Just
no.
dead.
No, the money was in that guy's hand for a little bit.
There was a transfer of bullets.
The scene starts with Lionel listening to like opera music in his fucking office, so you know he's up to something.
Always. There was a Casta Diva by Maria Callas. The other featured music this episode is Life After Love by Colored Shadows. I am just taking a look at any of the notes here, seeing if there's anything interesting. Lois Lane and Jonathan Kent do not appear in this episode. Lois Lane is of note. Jonathan Kent is dead. Wasn't made back into a cyborg, which would have been the brave decision from Smallville if they made Johnny K Cyborg.
Is he black though when they bring him back? Like, how does that work?
I mean, it's 2006. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anything could happen. Okay,
it's kind of fun if they have the same actor play him, but he's Johnny K.
Yeah. Why do you do this? During the filming of the episode, Tom Welling fell ill for the first time in 5 years, and production was halted for 4 days while he recovered. This dude probably did not mind having fucking 4 days off. I'm sure being sick sucked, but I'm sure he's talked about on podcasts before, like dermatologists have been like, you have fantastic skin. And he's like, no shit. I just lived inside for 9 years. Like,
that's pretty fucked up. Oh my God.
Yeah. He talks a lot about just like he does feel, I mean, like I think he's proud of the work, but like that was 9 years of very intensive work where like, you know, and he said like I was paid for it, don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, that's 9 years that are gone that I don't remember that much personally.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he was in every fucking scene.
He's in every episode. And it was pitched to him, I believe, as more of an ensemble, which in retrospect is ridiculous.
You know, I would counter, though, and I'm not trying to call his feelings invalid, but I would counter that most people feel that way about their 20s. Or jobs they had during that period. Like, I worked at a restaurant for 12 years, and that's kind of a blur.
That's fair. That's extremely fair. That's extremely fair. Yeah, go cry on it on your fucking pile of money.
I was involved in every scene of my life. You know?
Yeah, right. And I didn't get to kiss Kristen Krug one time. Not one time.
I have a feeling me and Tom Welling took a similar amount of vacations in that
When Clark is confronting Victor outside the hospital, he demands to know how Victor destroyed his girlfriend's Jeep. But she has actually been driving a GMC Envoy since forever. Gotcha, Smallville. You got got. Despite Lana's claims, this is the wiki doing good research here. This is the stuff I want from the wiki. Lana says, like, that should have fucking killed him, hitting him at 30 miles an hour. 30 miles an hour crashes, according to the wiki, only lethal 45% of the time. Less than half of the time does that kill people. That's good work, wiki. Good job.
45%. Wow.
45%.
I mean, I guess it just depends where you get hit, right?
That's it. To get hit in the good bits or the less good bits. It is revealed in this episode that Lionel knows Clark's Kryptonian birth name is Kal-El. However, it is not clear if he obtained this knowledge through his work at the Veritas Traveler Theory, or if he learned it while functioning as an emissary for Jor-El. So Wiki has the same questions we do. The rest of this is boring. In this episode, Clark is late for three disasters despite his super speed. Lana hitting Victor, Victor getting shot, and Dr. Hong being killed.
He's taking a break from the super speed.
He's taking a break. Give him a break. And that looks like everything for this week. I give this one a fine, a pass.
Yeah,
a
middling.
pass.
Middling.
Yeah. This, of course, is the Talon Mix. Thank you so much for listening. Hey, there is a link in the description of this podcast that leads to our Patreon page, as well as our Discord. But if you were inclined to support the show with your money dollars, we certainly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for choosing to do that. We put some bonus stuff up. We're a little behind, but we'll get something up this month because I've seen a lot of movies. Zach, you've seen a lot of movies, and we haven't talked about any of them.
Lot of
movies. Apart from that, hey, almost just as helpful, just a nice, hey, I like the show. You can do that on our Discord or with a review, a star rating on your podcasting platform of choice. It just feels nice, and it helps us, like, get out of bed and do another show. Yeah, it's just nice. But I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you again for listening. Zach, do you have a question for the Smallville gods?
I'm wondering, have either Zack Snyder or Joss Whedon seen this Cyborg episode of Smallville?
Good night, everybody.